Hello, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to thank and appreciate Hello again. First of all, I would like to thank and appreciate Dr. Rafian and Dr. Ranjbar for providing such a wonderful conference, and especially about these very important themes. And I'm also delightful to see Professor Madanipur here in Iran again. I had the honor of being his PhD student in Newcastle University 15 years ago. His occasional cooperation with Iranian universities during all these years is a blessing for both academic and profession in Iran. Let me start the presentation. As you can see, this presentation is about urban regeneration policy and the role of public space improvement in this policy, which is the main policy in the Ministry of Housing during a few years after starting the new government. We talk about first. We talk about Iranian system before changes and degradation, as we call it, Iran Shah, that I will talk about very short. And after that, we review the decreasing vitality and quality of life in our cities during the past decades. And then we explain about urban regeneration as a policy to confront this problem in our city. After that, I will explain about the program of public space improvement as a key program in urban regeneration policies, and then we will review a few experience and projects that implemented during the last years, and then we will conclude the discussion. Let me start with Iran Shah. The Iran Shah is this phrase and the concept that from 4 years ago introduced by Dr. Akhundi, the minister, and as a theoretical framework for urban planning system and policy making in Iran, which I don't want to go through the detail of this concept, but if we want to explain about this concept, we can review the Iranian system in the past that can show us that how we forget the principle of this urban system, and nowadays we going through a system that many cities are confronting lots of problems. Therefore, we will review some pictures and evidences of the city in the past that shows that Iranian city are the special manifestation of social structures that demonstrate the culture and civilization of the society. These cities express the organized and balanced and harmonized settlement. Let me show you a few pictures of these cities. This city of Isfahan, as you can see, this is a backbone of the city, the structure of city. At the middle is the Jame mosque, and which combined with the bazaar. And the other pictures, you can see the main public space at the heart of this city. In the other geographical situation, we have the city of Bushehr and some spaces in seaside. This picture shows the Tehran and Arg Square as a main public space in the city before changes in the years before. This is the city of Kashan, and very similar to Isfahan and the other city, that you can see how city growth in a harmonized system, and the element of city are combining with each other, and they are preparing very qualitative spaces for the residents. This is Bazaar of Kashan, that the main public places of the cities. This picture shows the Yazd, and this is an old picture of a ceremony of Muharram is in one of the public spaces in the Yazd in the past. And the other pictures again show you that concept that we call it Iran Shah. This is a manifestation of some social and spatial structure of the city. This is the city of Birjan, and we are going through Kerman and the square of the city at the middle of Bazaar. And this picture in different climate show you the city of Langrud, fish market in beside the historic bridge, and city of Ardestan, and then Sirjan and the other city. As you can see, these pictures show us a very sustainable form of urban system that in the past Iranian city and the residents live in these cities. And finally in Isfahan and the square of Shah Square in the middle of the city. Unfortunately, during the last decades, quality of life and vitality of this city changed to the very bad situation as a result of some intervention at the beginning of this century, and then some rapid urbanization, as you can see in a few samples, like this picture that show the rapid urbanization and physical expansion of the city of Mashhad, which provide a fragmented city. And the other example, you can see Iraq in the other scale of Iranian city. This transformation and changes have led to a state of chaos in the spatial, functional, and social organization of these cities, particularly in metropolitan cities like Tehran and Isfahan and Shiraz and the other cities. In these pictures, you can see the growth and rapid expansion of city of Tehran during last decades. As a result of vast area of city throughout the country, particularly metropolises and large cities are areas that are labeled as obsolete, inefficient, and informal settlement. Nowadays, most of cities in Iran confront lots of problems, such as urban poverty, developing social damages and security issues, safety issue and low resiliency of cities, identity crisis, inefficiency of transportation system, quality decline of the environment, spatial functional inequality, and lots of other problems that we can show in some example in these pictures. These are the situation of more than 30% of the cities. This is the city of Urumie that you can see the target area that have a combine of these problems in those neighborhoods. And the other city, Gorgan, that we can divide it in the different parts. We call it target area for regeneration, these neighborhoods, that we can introduce it in 4 or 5 typology. At the heart of the city, we have lots of neighborhood in historic area. At periphery of the city, you can see informal settlements that growth during that 2 or 3 decades ago, and lots of brownfield sites and inefficient urban fabrics, and even rivers at the middle of the city that have lots of problems. This is the picture of informal settlement in Tabriz, named Yusufabad Quarter. This is city of Saveh that shows the all inefficiency and obsolete area are extended to all city. For providing a basis to confront this problem, from 2014, the government decided to introduce a new policy, Urban Regeneration, that nowadays is a key and main urban policy in the Ministry of Housing, which is a comprehensive plan for enhancing and improving the quality of life, and a framework that combines the social, economical, environmental, and spatial structure of the city. Unfortunately, I cannot translate it to English. This is our main framework to implement this policy in the scale of neighborhood, which is we can divide it in 2 different parts: a physical intervention that have a housing program and developing infrastructure and improving services, and at the same time capacity building and the other software working with people and residents of this area. In this policy, based on review and study of previous experience, public space improvement is a key in the planning system because of many reasons. That public space provide infrastructure for the areas. Public space improvement develop the safety and security in the neighborhood. And the other reason that all you know about it. In this system, we use a concept, urban catalyst system, that provided different attitude toward public space improvement. In this concept, we try to define some projects that can influence to the urban fabric, aside from quality of territory, of physical territory of that project that can influence to the other part of the projects. Let me explain and introduce some experience that happened during few years ago. This is a project that intervened in the historic part of Gorgan that call it Imamzadeh Noor. As you can see, we try to provide the basis for improving infrastructure and developing some services at the middle of this historic quarter. And the other experience, which is Dr. Saeed is here, he tried to establish this work, and this is at the heart of Tehran, Mashq Square and pedestrian road that implemented 2-3 years ago. The other experience is in one of the oldest city in Iran, in Qazvin, Sepah Street. And again in Qazvin you can see project of public space improvement at the scale of neighborhood. This is the Akhund quarter in historic part of Qazvin. In the other experience, again in Tehran, and the work of Dr. Saadati and his colleagues, you can see the Marvi street, which is one of the good experience of public space improvement in Tehran. And this is a project of rehabilitation of local public space in Gorgan. And again, the other quarter in Gorgan. This is the experience of Naim, which happened 3 years ago. And the other experience in Yazd, Babur, and even in Aram Bidgol, one of small city near to Kashan. And also the project that happened 3 years ago that Dr. Irfanian will explain more about it in the next discussion. This is the city of Rasht and the main square that now they changed it to a pedestrian environment. This city of Tabriz and the street of Tarbiyat. And this city, or Kashan, at right, at the middle is Shiraz, and the right is Julfa in Isfahan. And a few examples of riverside regeneration in Iran, which is the oldest, is Isfahan, around the Zayande route, which is unfortunately now is changed to a different situation. This is the experience in Sari, riverside regeneration in Sari, which they call it Tajan, and also in Ardabil. These were experiences that happened during 2 or 3 years ago. Based on evaluating and analyzing this experience and the review of that factors that show you, we can conclude these 3 elements. As we talk about it, cities are a special manifestation of their social structure, a demonstration of culture and civilization of their society, an expression of an organized, balanced, and harmonized settlement. The recognition of these concepts is crucial for a qualitative planning of urban regeneration. Second, urban spaces are the main domain for public life. social interaction, and therefore basis for creation of social capital. Thus, planning a fundamental role in urban regeneration. And third and final, plans for improving public urban spaces based on catalyst approach can be influential on motivating new action in the surrounding area, in addition to enhancing the quality of life in their physical territory. Thank you so much for your attention.